Yeah, the decision was a tough one, but it's down to an injury. You know, I'd love to continue for longer, but it's just not possible with my knee. You know, I've had a few issues over the years, and at my age, I can't repair as quick as I would like to. So, yeah, the reason is, you know, I can just no longer do it. I thought about it last year. I got injured during the season last year. I saw some specialists and they said it's something you should consider. But last year with the World Cup coming up, I knew I couldn't make any decision because a big goal for me was to captain my country in the World Cup. After that I could go and get an operation and hope that it would help, which it did, but still not to the standard where I can continue into 2024. Yeah, it's the toughest decision I've made in my life, not just rugby, in my life. I thought I was ready to make the decision, and then last week when I had to go and speak to the coach and Neil, the CEO, and Bernard, it was tough because I've been playing rugby professional for 15 years. I've been playing rugby since I was 5 years old. You know, 28 years of every single week playing rugby league. So yeah, the decision was very tough because, you know, I'm a rugby player. That's the first thing I am before I'm anything else. Before I'm a dad, a husband, anything else, I'm a rugby player. So for me it was a tough decision, and you know, it wasn't easy to make, but in the end the option will be taken out of my hands anyway. So although it was tough, I think it's the right time. Rugby league careers, they're not very long, and I knew that when I started at Wigan, you know, my objective was to just play for Wigan, to win a trophy. That happened, and then when I realised, you know, time goes fast, I didn't want to miss any opportunities. So the opportunity to go to New Zealand was big for me, to experience something new. And I love living in a different country and experiencing something new. Going back to Wigan then to start my family and having 2 children in Wigan. Not long after that, I realised I wanted another adventure, and that's when the chance to come to Catalans came up, and it was an opportunity I knew I wasn't going to miss. It's a special club. I didn't know that at the time. I just thought it was a good club in France, a new experience, a new lifestyle for 2 or 3 years. You know, since being at the club, it's developed into much more than that. You know, this is home for me and my family now. You know, now I've got 4 children, all speaking French. You know, my wife's settled. You know, it'd be very tough to leave France now. So, yeah, it's not what I expected when I arrived, but you know, it's been an amazing time. Yeah, I'm proud of the choice I made. That wasn't an easy choice. You know, Wigan offered me to be marquee player for another 4 years, at the same time as Catalans offered me 3-year contract. So it was a tough decision because Wigan is everything that I knew. I grew up in Wigan. I was part of the furniture at the club, and you know, to go and tell Ian Lenigan and Chris Radlinski, 2 people that I have a relationship with, that I don't want marquee for 4 years is something I never thought I would do. But you know, the opportunity to come to Catalans was a unique one. There's no other sporting club like Catalan Dragons. You know, we're very different here, and that appealed to me, to play for a club that's different to any other. And I already had a relationship with Steve McNamara through the England team, so we'd always stayed in touch through the years when I was at Wigan and he was in Australia and New Zealand. So when he got the job in 2017, he spoke about it, and he just mentioned in conversation, if you ever want to come. And then that made me start thinking. So in 2018, you know, I made the decision to come, and it was the best decision I could have made. My opinion of the club changed very quickly. I didn't know a lot about the club. Historically, the Catalan Dragons were an inconsistent team. It was, you know, English clubs see the Dragons as a pain, really. You know, having to fly across to play games. You know, there's a lot of problems and a lot of excuses can be brought up. But when I came to the club, I very quickly realised there's a lot of special people here. You know, there's a lot of passionate people that want success for this club. You know, we're a relatively new club. You know, only starting up in 2006, but you know, the history of rugby league goes way further than that. You know, we're not a new franchise that came in with no history. You know, the history is built on Centre Stev and rugby in Perpignan. So once I learnt that and met a lot of the people here, I realised that there was a lot of similarities between Catalan and Wigan. You know, the clubs that have people working for them, that they don't do it for money or for fame. They do it because they love the club, and that's what stuck out to me straight away. And you know, now it's a club that I've grown to love. You know, I'm a Dragon now, and people recognise me as a Catalan Dragons player, and I'm very proud of that. Yeah, I think, you know, as a rugby player or as any sportsman, you have to be competitive, and that's something I've had from being very young. You know, sometimes too competitive, but it's something that I've had in me from a young age, and it's only when I started playing professionally that sort of people noticed how competitive I was and my desire to win, and more so than that is my desire to not lose, which, you know, I've learnt about as I've got older, and I see that, and I have to use that to my advantage, and it's something that, you know, I've never worked on. I've just always wanted to win, and you know, I've had battles with my brothers from 5 years old. I had the same determination to beat my brother up when I was 5 years old as I have now to win a game. It's changed a lot since I started. You know, I look back to 2008 when I made my debut. You know, rugby league was a lot different then. That's when I realised how old I am, because it's a lot more detailed now, a lot more professional. You know, everything is measurable now. We wear GPS trackers in our shirt. We all the training programs are very specific. We know how many meters we run. When I started in 2008, it was lift as many weights as you can and run as fast as you can. That was it. It was a lot more simple. So new generations of players now are much more professional, and that's something that everybody has to move with. I'm proud that I've made some decisions to play for 3 clubs that I've loved, and in terms of playing actual games, it's, you know, lifting trophies. It's nothing you think about when you're playing too much. I'm sure when I'm a bit older and look back on my career, it'll be those days, because I just want to win. The same as every player, every team, you just want to win. So there'll be proud moments when I look back on, but yeah, I've not really had time to reflect too much on my career and what I'm proud of yet. No regrets at all, no. I've regretted things straight after doing them, but you know, when I look back over the last 15 years, you know, I've been very, very lucky. You know, I've experienced, you know, playing in a lot of big games, and you know, playing in 3 different countries. So, you know, I can't regret anything, because I know exactly how lucky I am. You know, there's certain things at the time that I probably would have changed, but overall, yeah, there's no regrets. I'll probably miss being around the people, you know, the players, the staff. It's a joy to go to work. You know, this isn't a job what we've got. You know, people say it's tough and you have to make sacrifices to play rugby. And that's rubbish. You know, there's nothing better than being part of a great group of people that have all got the same goal. You know, the same reasons that we play rugby as kids, we play now because we love the game and we want to compete. So to be able to do it as a job and get paid for it, you know, we've all won the lotto, I think. So I'll probably miss just being around the same kind of people. You know, moving forward, I'll still be involved, but yeah, it's probably that being around the changing rooms every day and you know, just living with the same kind of people as myself. My goal for this year doesn't change. You know, I'm finishing in October, but that doesn't change anything about what I do between now and then. You know, I want to win everything. I want to win a Challenge Cup. I want to win a Grand Final. You know, I want to be part of a Dragons team to lift a trophy, and that's the objective of myself, the team, the staff, and that doesn't change at all. I think there's a long season to go yet, and it's good that I can get this out so early, because it means my focus can be purely on winning. It's probably spend a little bit more time with my family. You know, my kids are growing up fast. I have 4 kids from 7 years old down to a 1-year-old, and you know, the amount of days I've spent after games where I can't go and play football with the kids because I'm too sore, or you know, I can't go down the beach because I've got to do recovery and things. So I think straight away I'll just enjoy a little bit more time with the family and getting used to normal life. When I made the decision that I'd be retiring at the end of the season, Neil and Bernard came up with an idea that they wanted me to stay at the club, which is something I'm more than happy to do. You know, the club expressed that they'd want to keep me involved and just move me off the field but into different areas. And you know, I know the club very well now, and I know the ambitions of the club. So the fact that I can continue, you know, working towards that and having an impact on the club, you know, even though it's not on the field, it's a great opportunity for me. Something I'm excited about, and that's made the decision to finish playing a lot easier, knowing the fact that I'm still involved and I'm still going to be able to have an input into the club.